a swath of moisture right across the Rocky Mountains, including BC and Alberta, but we're going to be watching for a bit of a pattern change for Alberta. So the days of you basking in the sunshine in the mid-teens could be behind you. It is December after all. 15 to 25 centimeters in some of the higher terrain through the mountains of southern BC. So we're talking about the parts of the not the Kootenays, but maybe the Columbias, the Purcells, and then 10 to 15 up through Rogers Pass, 10 to 15 down through Allison's Pass, and then rainfall Tuesday lessening up as well. But it is going to be a rainy day right across much of the province. Now watch these wind gusts in the foothills. We're watching for winds closing in on 100 to 130 kilometers an hour, but diminishing through the day on Tuesday. But if you do have plans to travel across the Trans-Canada into the Rockies, note that those winds are going to be very strong. As a result of those strong winds, 14 degrees for Lethbridge, 12 for Calgary. We've seen record-breaking temperatures for several days. 2 degrees for Wednesday for Calgary, 3 for Lethbridge. So you'd say, well, that's a little bit back to normal. Not so much. You're still above seasonal. It won't be until the weekend that we'll start to see temperatures get close to seasonal, -6 for Edmonton, -3, maybe even slightly below seasonal, but certainly not the mid-teens. All right, 3 degrees for Windsor today, 1 for Toronto. We are tracking an Alberta Clipper that will bring a dusting of snow across the 400 and 401 corridor in the eastern part of the GTA. So let's just sort of play this out for you. There's the Clipper. Not a whole lot. It's going to be fairly fast moving, but Tuesday overnight into early Wednesday morning, maybe just enough to slick up the road conditions. And speaking of slick conditions, as we get into the weekend, we're watching for a Texas low that could bring potentially heavy rain across southern Ontario, snow through central Ontario, and freezing rain potentially through eastern Ontario. You can see that sort of highlighted in that pink color. So, maybe from Barrie, say, to over to Ottawa as a first idea of where that might set up. We'll keep close on that. It looks like everybody will get some snow, though, on the backside of the system as it draws in colder air. Now, speaking of colder air, so that's on the weekend. There's really no cold air to be found until then. 8 degrees on Wednesday for Windsor, 4 for London with that Clipper. You can see a little bit of residual snow, but look at the temperatures on Friday, 8 degrees. Same deal for Saturday. Yes, you'll be dealing with rain, but way above seasonal. And -3 for, say, Drummondville this afternoon, so relatively mild there too. -2 for Montreal, and fairly calm conditions for Quebec. Not so much for Atlantic Canada, with Cape Breton getting snowfall throughout the afternoon, and then Newfoundland getting rain, heavy snow, ice pellets, freezing rain, potentially everything on tap. 15 to 30 millimeters of rain for, say, maybe around Clarenville. And then anywhere north of there, including you in Gander, you'll be looking at straight snow. But in between Gander, Clarenville, down to St. Lawrence, we could see pockets of ice pellets. Now for St. John's, 30 to 40 millimeters of rainfall, plus some wind gusts in there, about 50 to 60 kilometers an hour. But there's the snowfall, 15 to 20 centimeters of snow for areas in central Newfoundland.